I'm Michelle.
And I'm Skylar, and we run the Love Letters to Broadway podcast, the podcast that gives you Broadway tips, tricks, advice, and we discuss our adventures as just two besties who are navigating the Broadway world.
And on our podcast, we discuss everything from Broadway news, show reviews, ticket, like how-tos, like where to buy seats, to also like live dream cast, Broadway hot takes, theater etiquette, stage door etiquette, and much more.
Yeah, and today we are joined here at RumbleCon, which we're so excited to be a part of, by our special guest. So everyone, please welcome Nicole Marie, aka Broadway Side Gig. She is a theater influencer, creator, and is known for her incredible curtain call footage and shares her own theater adventures with her audience. So welcome, Nicole. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
No, of course. Thank you for being a part of RumbleCon. I know we're all super excited to be here, and I'm sure those tuning in at home are excited as well. So for today's panel, we're going to be interviewing Nicole. If anyone has any questions for either us or Nicole, you can submit those with the text to chat feature. I believe there's a button down below, but there's also a phone number you can use to send those questions in. But to get things started, something that we do on our podcast is hyper-fixations. And we thought that may be like a fun little start to the session. So when we do our hyper-fixations, we share like 2 to 3 of our favorite songs that we're currently listening to. It could be theater related or not theater related, as well as talk about like any TV shows or books or movies that we're obsessing over for the week. So we thought it may be fun to get yours. And also we can discuss some of ours for the week just as like a little icebreaker.
Okay. Yes. I did have some prepared because you told me that I could do that.
Okay,
So I recently saw Just in Time once again. I've seen it 3 times now, twice with Jonathan Groff, our beloved, and I just saw it with Matt McNusson. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I might be butchering that, but it reminded me of my love that I have for this show. So my hyperfixations right now are on Who's Sorry Now, Gracie Lawrence. I've been playing that on repeat. Just the vocals on that are insane. I wish I could belt like that. Loving it. Mac the Knife, just because that's a classic Jonathan Groff song. And I saw Peyton List's debut in Heathers this week on Monday. So that was a lot of fun, even though it was freezing cold and I almost died at the stage door. So I like immediately left. I handed out like one thing to one person and I was just like, you know what? I don't have gloves. I'm not about the frostbite life.
No gloves.
I heard that I saw a post, I think it was yesterday, that they're postponing the Heather stage door until further notice because of the weather.
Very smart move. I'm surprised like more shows don't do that, just because like I was standing out there and I'm like, how are they signing anything? Like, why am I here? I was like, I'm getting like it's 0 degrees outside. Terrible. But show was great. And I'm Casey Likes and Kuhu Verma are just such a pair. I'm obsessed with them. I wish there was a cast album of like honestly any iteration of this new cast.
Yeah.
It bothers me that there isn't. But Dead Girl Walking has been stuck in my head. So I've been listening to the original version of that. So those are my my 3 current like repeating songs right now.
We saw Heathers, but we unfortunately didn't get to see Casey Likes. So we've been dying to get back there.
It's on our list.
He's insane. He's diabolical. He's insane in that role. Like just seeing him go from Marty McFly to that, I was like, hey, didn't know you could do that. We love it.
Yeah, we were so disappointed because we also had front row center seats.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, we really want to see Casey Likes front row. And then he was out. But his understudy, Devin Lewis, was
fantastic.
Fantastic.
The switch between like JD and like act 1 to act 2 was like so scary. Like at one point I was like, oh my God. I was like, who is this person now? I was like, how did he do that?
That ending to act 1, when you like, when it gets to that just intense music, you're just like, oh man, we're in it now. We're in it now.
He's scary.
Totally.
For sure.
Do you have any TV shows or movies?
What did I just watch? I just watched The Red Shoes for the first time, which is like a very old movie. And I appreciated it for its achievements in cinematography and Technicolor. The first half was great. The second half, I was kind of like, but I'd happily go back and watch the first half. So that was a fun movie to watch with my roommate. We had like there were just parts near the end, but we were like, okay, all right. And then TV show wise, I've been watching Fallout because I'm kind of a video game girly, and Fallout is one of my favorite like video games. So that's been a really fun watch because I love retro futurism. I love the aesthetic of it, and I love the soundtrack, all the 50s and 60s music that they play. I've been like listening to this song Big Iron, which is literally a Western like country song from the 60s that no one else listens to, but it's just been on my like in like just on repeat at work. And it's been getting me through those corporate days. So
You're the third person I've met this week who talked about that show, so I think I'll be watching that.
you
Like,
got
I
it.
don't know what's over it. Everyone's like, you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it. I was like, I don't know, but now it's on my list.
I've made a couple people watch it who haven't played any of the video games, and they've been able to follow along. So
Yeah,
it's very good. It's a very good adaptation.
That's going on the list. Skylar, you want to do yours?
Sure. So I'm back obsessed with Hadestown. I go into like cycles, and now it's just like all I'm listening to. But shockingly, if you listen to the podcast, I always say I like the West End version and my Donnell Finn. But I've been listening to the original Broadway cast, which is weird for me.
That's really weird for you.
Weird for me. So at 3, I have If It's True from Hadestown. That will always be a staple in my obsession with Hadestown. Again, the Orpheus, just like pleading, like, please, like down on the knees. I just love that song. And then at 2, again, Living It Up on Top has been a bop this week. I don't know, it gets me grooving. It's a good groover.
It's a good groover.
It's a good groover. And then, surprise to no one, at number 1 is Promises from Hadestown.
Always.
It's just, it makes me feel all the feels when you need to feel the feels. Like, he's just pleading his love for Eurydice, and just like he doesn't need anything. They just need each other. And that breaks my heart. So that's my favorite. So yeah, very Hadestown focused. I think that means I need to go see the show again. But,
Yes, definitely.
So I'll be back. I don't watch a lot of TV. That's the one thing. In my spare time, I read a lot of books. So I'm really still obsessed with the book Mad Wife by Megan Church. Again, to see, it's about a housewife and how her husband kind of makes her go nutty.
Wait,
And
I
how-
just read that. I've just read that like 2 weeks ago. It was so
Isn't it so good?
fantastic. It's so good.
It's so good. I have 100 pages left. I'm gonna finish it this weekend. That's my main goal for the weekend. But I can't put it down because I'm like, there's no way that these women were treated like this and that this is what's going on. Well, what went on? I'm obsessed.
It's a fantastic read.
So I highly recommend it, and I think you do too.
Yes, I do too.
So yeah, that's really it. I have to watch Bridgerton. No spoilers. I need time to watch it. So please, people, I'm pleading to you. No Bridgerton spoilers.
Dude, stop posting the spoilers on TikTok. I cannot scroll on my feed without saying something. I'm just like, get out of here.
So yeah, that was my week. Michelle, you ready for yours?
Sure. So I guess we have a thing going on with Greek mythology because all of my songs are also from shows about that. So in my third spot this week, I've been listening again to the Lightning Thief cast album, and I think it's because I just finished watching the Percy Jackson show on Disney Plus. I just finished season 2. So the song I have is DOA, which I just find it's such a bop. And I really feel like that's a show that they should bring back at some point. Like, I feel like New World Stages would be a great fit for it. And it's been a while. And then my other 2 songs are from the West End version of Hercules, which I wish they would bring to Broadway already because it is long overdue. So the first one is A Star is Born, and the second one is Gospel Truth 3, which they're both, I'm sorry, anything with the muses, like, that's my favorite. I can't help it.
It just makes you bop. Like, I don't know, it makes me go like, I don't know.
I know, Skylar and I always say it on our podcast, like, she likes the ballads, she likes the calm music. I'm a girl who wants to dance and just, like, groove a little bit. So that was a song you could groove to. And then in terms of shows, unlike Skylar, I watch too many TV shows and movies, and I don't read enough. So I just finished watching the Netflix show Finding Her Edge, which I thought was absolutely fantastic, but the ending really pissed me off. I won't spoil it in case anyone hasn't watched it. But it's about like this like Olympic figure skating family, and it's really fascinating. And then I also just started Bridgerton season 4 today, which I can't talk about because Skylar. No. So, but she should watch it because this season is all Benedict Bridgerton, and that's her man's. So
that's her man's.
Wait till you watch the first 10 minutes. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm excited. Mm-hmm. Well, those are some good hyperfixations. We're having a good week over here. But I guess it's time to get into the interview portion. So, Nicole, can you share a little bit about like what type of content you post, what your platform is about, and just you in general, I guess?
Okay. So I started my page about 1.5 years ago. I had no concept that there was like a theater community and theater influencers and like a fandom online. It was just actually when I started like watching The Outsiders that summer, and I saw a couple of accounts, and I'm just like, oh, people have their own little theater accounts. And I'm just like, I need to stop annoying all the people that I love on my personal account with the amount of shows and concerning them with the amount of shows that I watch. So why don't I just like make my own? And it sort of snowballed from there. It had no real purpose other than to get like pictures and like sometimes like film stuff. Like I don't consider myself an influencer or a content creator because I don't generally like to put my face out there, and I think my voice sounds weird, so I don't think I'm creating content. I'm just like sharing what's already being presented. And I don't know if I've ever influenced anyone, maybe 1 or 2 people to go see a show, but like I just like sharing things. And so, yeah, like it's been me going kind of hog wild over, it was like Outsiders Hyperfixation. And then at the same time, Sunset Boulevard Hyperfixation kicked in, which was financially devastating to me to have those 2 hyperfixations at the same time. And what's been really cool is just being able to, the friends that I've made, like I've gone to BroadwayCon twice now. I know you guys have gone to BroadwayCon. I did not go on the 3rd day this year because of the snow, even though I promised on a local news station that I'd be there no matter what, because CBS was there on Friday. And they're like, can we interview you for something? And I did not know it was CBS. I thought it was just another person with a microphone. And I was like, yeah, sure. And they were just like, are you going to be here no matter what? And I'm like, yeah, that's showbiz, baby. And I walked away from that like, oh my God, I said that. And that's so probably the only line that they're going to use. And I refused. And they're like, you're going to be on the news at like 6. And my family found the clip, and I refused to watch it until like I did it through like my roommate, and she was like, you were right, the only 2 seconds that they used was that's showbiz, baby, part of it. So like that was fun.
That's so good.
Great.
That's so good.
So like I like just the opportunities that have come from like going to Broadway Con, like just meeting people at the stage door is really dope. And I'm not even talking about actors, just like standing next to someone and finding out you have like 1,000 things in common with them. I've made tons of friends, especially in like the Outsiders community, and I've made tons of connections. Just I started hanging out at Sardi's before shows, and that's kind of like you think it's like kitschy and it's a tourist trap. Producers are there all the time and you have to watch your mouth because like I always like I have like one drink and I'm like I'm going to start talking about a show, and then I realize it's just like 2 seats down from me is the person who produced Queen of Versailles, so like
Oh
to
no.
yourself.
Wow.
But shout out to the bartender Jeremy there. He's great. I brought Matt and Tara Beth there and we had a great time. But you meet a lot of people there. I was sitting next to someone who understudied Carol Channing in Hello Dolly once, and
Wow.
she just started talking to me about it. Then I sat next to like an old figure skater who used to be called Mr. Magnificent. And at one point I sat next to the guy who was the head of like facilities at Schubert Theater and then managed to get me backstage at maybe Happy Ending,
Oh
just
wow.
because like if you just let people talk,
Yeah.
they will like and just not like I'm not saying like they're boring or anything like that, but if you nod and let people go on and talk about their interests, like you can very easily make a connection. So I'm not saying everyone go to Sardi's now because like that's my spot, but
Yeah.
you guys should go to Sardi's and check it out because there are some like there's some really cool people you can meet there. Also, like I was casually sitting next to like Rose Byrne the other day, Mandy Gonzalez, like because
Wow.
they all have their caricature parties
Yeah.
there, and they all filter down from those parties to the bar afterwards.
Oh,
So that is when to like on Thursdays check it out. Just like sit at the bar, and sometimes you run into like the wildest people. That's going off track, but
No, that's cool.
that's a great tip though to know. I'm putting that in my pocket.
yeah, you should put that in your pocket. Like
Yeah,
it's a
right.
great way to make connections. Like because I learned that there's like a New York Times critic table, there's a playbill
Mhm.
table like that they reserve for them like at the bar. And I'm just and you don't even have to go there and get a drink, although I do enjoy getting a drink. But it's just it's like the coolest place to just get theater history and just sit there and like bask in the knowledge that like hey, this place has been like operating since the 20s and like theater legends have been here since the 20s,
That's
so there you
It's like
go.
very similar. We started the podcast because we would just yap for hours with each other. After going to see a show, we just sit there and just dissect the whole show, what we liked, what we didn't like, what this actor did, and how cool that was. And we're like, what can we do to kind of like reach a bigger audience? And we're like, I think we should do a podcast. And we've been yapping for over a year and it's so much fun because we love it so much.
I like love yapping. Podcasting is like the one thing I've been like way too scared to ever do just because I'm always like very self-conscious of like my accent from Baltimore and all that sort of thing, which people
Yeah.
sometimes pick up on and some people are like don't pick up on at all. Some
Mhm.
people are like, "Where are you from?" And I'm just like, "Excuse me."
Well,
Yeah.
we've had people make comments about our New York accent, so
Oh yeah.
we're in the same boat. Like one of our videos recently that got pretty noticed on TikTok was about all the Mamma Mia stuff that went on, and what the experience that happened the night that we went, which was not the same as the whole Uncle Daddy situation that
Yeah.
went viral.
Mhm.
And the amount of comments that we had to filter through of people just commenting on our accents was crazy.
Yeah, which I didn't realize we had such strong accents, but I think when we're angry, we get more
It
like
comes out. It
The New
comes
Yorker
out.
comes out.
yeah.
Okay, so what was the very first show that you saw that really made you like fall in love with theater, or like what's your earliest theater Broadway memory?
My earliest theater Broadway memory, my first show that I ever saw, which was incredibly inappropriate for my age, and it was my school bringing me to Broadway to New York to see it, was I was like a child seeing Patti LuPone in Gypsy, and
Oh,
Okay.
only because my teacher really wanted to see it. So he brought a bunch of children to go not the Lion King, not anything like Disney.
what?
We saw Patti LuPone in Gypsy, and I was just sort of like, this is very interesting. And my parents were very like, are we allowing our daughter to go see this? Like, but I came home and I was just like, I gotta go see more theater. And so that was like, my first experience being Patti LuPone doing Rose's Turn was kind of like wild. Like, I didn't appreciate it at the time. Like, at the time, I was just like, that was really cool. But then when I tell people, oh, that's my first Broadway show, they're like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
usually
cool.
there are other starter Broadway
Yeah.
shows that ease you into it, you know, but that was just full out like 3 hours. Let's go see Gypsy and then eat at Planet Hollywood and go back to Baltimore.
Do you
That's cool.
do you feel like you were able to like understand the show at that young of an age, or
I like my teacher was very much adamant that we study the summary of the show before we went into it because he was like, I won't stand for anyone like just going in and like falling asleep or being bored by this. So you will know the plot and you will know. And I was like reading it and I was like, huh. And like I was one of those kids that always picked up a book that was inappropriate for my age. So like when I read it, I was just like, this seems like really interesting and fun, but like, I don't understand all the connotations of everything. Well, like all that work and what did it get me and all that stuff. So like it
Yeah.
was I didn't realize I was like watching history, but at the time later, I was just like, oh, like that's dope that that was my first show and now I can like be like, oh, I was there. I was there. I've seen that, like, because
Yeah.
I had that teacher.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
that's
big name
cool.
drop. Big name drop, Patti LuPone.
Because mine was Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
I mean,
Makes
that's the
sense.
normal one though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, mine was at least I think, I don't know for sure. My first show was Lion King, I think, when I was
Makes
like 4 or 5. But the first show I think that really like got engraved into my mind was Tarzan.
Mm.
And that's kind of what
mm,
started it for me. And that show should have never closed. So underrated. If you haven't listened to the cast album, go listen to it.
okay, I have to listen to that then because I have not listened to that yet.
It was so good. I think that was one of Disney's biggest mistakes, is closing that show, because it was so fantastic the way they interpreted it. Like I thought it did so well on stage. So that's just my opinion.
Isn't it so interesting, like the shows that kind of just always stick in your brain? Like I feel like mine will always be Les Mis, and that was like what 2014 or something. When
Yeah, I saw the
revival
tail
came?
end of that like
Yeah.
right before it closed, and I was
And I'll
just like,
always remember, like it's still like I could still picture it.
Mm-hmm.
That was, and like I saw shows before them, but to me that was so pivotal in my theater experience, where I'm like, that changed my outlook on performers and live theater and how cool it was to sit there and be able to experience these voices, these people acting their butts off and feeling those emotions from all the way up in the balcony.
yeah, no, just the scale of that production too was just insane. I remember I think I won a lotto ticket to that one, and I was sitting next to this old woman who's just like, "Can you believe this?" the entire time. Like was just like whispering, she's like, "Oh my gosh," and was
Oh, I
having
love
very
that.
like, which I did love because she wasn't interrupting me. She was just having like very
Yeah.
vocal like reactions to it. And I
Yeah.
love when people have like I love the gasp in Hadestown. I'm a
Oh,
gasper in
God.
Hadestown. I'll do it every time. Like
Me too. Every
like
time. I know it's
every
gonna happen.
time. I know it's gonna happen, but I'm
I
gonna
know.
gasp and you're gonna have to deal with it.
The two
I
of
go,
us were
oh my God.
the two of us were sobbing this past week at ragtime. So we're in the same boat. We're not afraid to be vocal if we have to be.
I didn't even realize how bad I was sobbing. And then intermission came. I looked at Michelle. I was like, is my face all red? And she's like, you look terrible. And I was like, yeah, I was sobbing. It was not okay. I was sitting there
No,
like,
I love when people I love getting emotional at the theater. I mean, I don't love it for me, But I
Yeah.
do love like afterwards, I'm like, that was like the catharsis you get from that is just
Yeah.
so like, especially God, ragtime,
Oh,
man.
Yeah, that was
That's
incredible. Our
it's
review
also ahead
is
of
going to be
me.
coming out for that soon. I think in like the next week or two. So
Yeah.
we're excited to do that one.
Yeah, that hurt my heart. That was so good, but my heart was broken. I went home with a pounding headache and it was so worth it because it was so good.
Worth it.
Okay, so I guess speaking kind of, we talked about ragtime. Can you name a show that is currently running that you really recommend, the kind of everyone runs and sees?
currently running that everyone runs and sees. Um, honestly, I'm honestly still on my Heather's kick. Like
Mhm.
that's I'm obsessed with the performances. I'm obsessed with the actors, and you can actually get a pretty easy rush ticket to that like digitally,
Oh, really?
Oh,
and they're almost
It's good to know.
always orchestra, like the first 5 rows of orchestra, and it's $38. So like get on that, people. Like that's very easy to rush. And now
Yeah.
I'm giving that away and people will
we're all
rush that.
we're all gonna do it.
But
Give us
We've been
like,
answering the
people, give us 2 weeks.
Sorry, Skylar, what did you say?
I was like, just give us 2 weeks. Let us try for 2 weeks, and then you guys can try after us.
yeah.
We've been doing the lottery, but we haven't been able to win. But that's a good tip to know about the rush.
The lottery is, especially that one's 2 days ahead, so it always throws me off.
Yeah.
And the one time I did win it, I was like, yes. And then I looked and I was like, it's for a Saturday. You have something. Why didn't you look it up? Why did you not plan ahead?
Yeah.
But it's like, come on, just do it for the day before.
Yeah,
Make it make sense.
confusing. That and Little Shop. They both always get me confused with the lotteries.
Oh yeah. Little Shop, I actually saw the I haven't seen Little Shop since the original, like before COVID cast. I saw it with Jonathan Groff and Christian Borle and all of them, and that was like because they all that's been back when Jonathan Groff stage doored. So like you could just sit there and have a conversation with him, and I'm just talking to him about Mindhunter because that was like one of my favorite shows.
That was a good show.
And it was a great show. And where's my season 3? But yeah, no, Little Shop's a lot of fun. And I would love to revisit that because I need to revisit that because it's been a bajillion years.
Michelle, we went 2 years ago when we won lottery. Was that 2 years ago?
Possibly. We went when Andrew Barth Feldman was playing Seymour.
Oh, nice.
So how long ago was that? And Sarah Hyland was our Audrey.
She was good.
She was fantastic. We were really impressed.
Sarah Hyland is making her way through Broadway. Like
She
Gatsby,
did.
now Just in Time. Like
But honestly, she deserves it. Like
she does.
Mhm.
we met her at the Gatsby stage door and we had a lovely conversation with her, and you could tell like some of the other people were kind of just like walking through, like other cast members or people were kind of like making comments about her, and we were just so complimentary to her and had like a really like down to earth conversation, and you could tell like how much it actually meant to her. And like you saw during Gatsby, we sat front row, she was shaking the whole show. She was so nervous, but she was incredible. If anyone hasn't seen Sarah Hyland yet, I highly recommend you go see her in the show.
Definitely.
So I know we mentioned it a little bit earlier that this is something we talk about a lot on our podcast, but what are your thoughts on the current state of theater etiquette and stage door etiquette? Obviously, there have been a lot of issues with it recently. There's been a lot of conversations about it recently. So what are your thoughts?
My thoughts. I need people to just stop like talking. That's my one thing is like during a show. Like it's one thing to have a reaction to something. That
Mhm.
is totally fine. But like I've gone to shows where people are having full conversations behind me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, we can all hear this. Like, and I did not pay to listen to the people behind me talk. So that's really one of my pet peeves. I saw Macbeth, and the guy behind me, this was a couple years back when it was Daniel Craig was in it, and the guy behind me was like quoting it, and I wanted to turn around and be like, I'm so sorry, like we all like read Shakespeare. I don't need you quoting. I want to hear Daniel Craig say the lines. Like, come on now. But that and with stage door, I'm not a fan of like gatekeeping it per se, like just in that like a lot of people are just like people should be checking tickets because just in that a lot of times like the night that you go to a show because of just the way stage doors are, you can't stage door it sometimes. You walk outside and you look and it's just like
Hmm.
it's already filled up. So you have to be the person that goes the next night. And it's kind of it's not great. It's not a great and ideal situation. But I would love if like once something gets like five people deep, it's like why are you even at the stage door at that point? You're not gonna get something signed unless you
Yeah.
push or shove. Screaming, I could do without screaming. I've been
Yeah.
the screaming is a lot. I'm just like we cheered at the end of the show.
Mhm.
So when someone walks outside, it's one thing to like cheer for them. It's another thing to scream as if you've never. And it's always the people who've been at the stage door 40 times who are
Hmm.
screaming as if they've never seen this person in their life and they have to scream about it. And I'm just like, so there's that. Um, I like I think my worst stage door experience was actually kind of my best stage door experience, which is hard to it was summer 2023. I'd won a lotto ticket to Sweeney Todd and it was with the full cast and like Jordan Fisher hadn't left or anything like that. Like everyone was there and I was just like I don't want to miss a moment of this. So I did not drink any water during the show and it was the heat of summer and I was going to stage door. Stupid idea. So I go and I'm like stage dooring and I'm starting to feel like, like the heat's kind of getting to me. And the guy who played Judge Turpin is coming around, he's signing the playbills and I don't remember much after that except that like I went down and they were like it was like
Oh,
one of those like
Oh,
very much crowded stage doors so it was like five people
yeah.
thick. And so like luckily they cushioned my fall. But I was around like moms who like caught me so it was like very like a nice supportive thing and I'm like they're going to kick me out. This Judge Turpin guy is going to think that I fainted because I saw him like which was not the case. It was the heat.
Yeah.
And but like the lady at the security at the stage door was like, "Oh, do you want a chair?" And I was like, "I didn't know that was an option." So I was
I'll
just like,
take
"I'll
a chair.
take a chair." And I sat down and I had my little chair and someone had gotten me a bottle of water from inside. And when I tell you, there is nothing like Josh Groban, Annalie Ashford, Jordan Fisher just leaning down and like signing your playbill and like treating you like you have a terminal illness or something just because they cannot tell what was wrong with me. Why was I in that chair? Like, so it was like, yes, I fainted, God at what cost, but like, it was great. Like they
Yeah.
treated me so well. And I'm not saying like go faint at the stage door, but
Yeah.
I'm not saying go faint at the stage door, if you know what I mean. So like don't crowd. That's what made me faint. Don't crowd people. But
Yeah.
the conclusion to that was great. I got a very well signed playbill and everyone was really nice to me after that. So
You got to sit down for a little bit, take a little chill.
being able to sit down at a stage door was just it was the
Life
ultimate
changing.
luxury. The ultimate luxury.
well, that's the thing with us too. I think one of our biggest complaints nowadays is the crowding at the stage door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when we went to Moulin Rouge, what was it like? Was it last summer?
It was when Aaron was doing his like final leg.
Yeah. It
No,
was
it's like October, I think.
Yeah, it was bad. Like people were like climbing over us. We were getting hit in the head. We both felt like we were gonna pass out. And I feel like people nowadays keep forgetting that stage door is a privilege. And it's
Mhm.
not something that has to be done after
Yeah.
every show. Like I feel like people are just like taking it for granted. And they don't realize that if they keep acting this way, we're not going to have any more stage doors. They're going to ruin it for everyone. Like the actors are doing a favor for you. So be respectful to the actors and everyone around you. I just feel like it's gone way
100%.
down the toilet.
Yeah, we haven't staged door in a while.
Mhm.
Just because of that. Like we get so overwhelmed then we're like, all right, is it worth our like mental right now? Because I'm done.
Yeah, I get so overstimulated at the stage
Yeah.
door just with so many people around. I have no idea how actors even stage door.
I
I would not be able to focus on any one person. I
know.
would just be like blankly signing things. I
Yeah.
would not be able to do it because being in the audience of the stage door is like rough enough.
Hmm.
Exactly.
It gets very overwhelming, and we used to do it a lot more. Now I don't remember the last time we did.
Mm-mm. I don't really have like the patience for it anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like I can't stand when people like leave the shows early to go like get in line. It's like these actors deserve your applause. They just
Yeah.
put on the show of a lifetime for 2.5 hours. That is exhausting work. And I feel like it's a slap in the face of the actors, and yet you want them to do a favor for you and give you their autograph.
Yeah, no, I've been at the Outsiders where like I've been front row and someone has like pushed past me
Yep.
I'm like, you're in the front row. Like,
So
it's one
obvious.
thing if you were like on the aisle and you did it, which I still don't think you should do. But like, don't push past me in your haste to go outside and get a good spot because they're going to see you too. Like, I mean, I don't think they realize how much the actors can see from the stage,
Oh yeah.
like,
At
which
all.
is a lot. So,
Not at all.
Well, I guess since you brought up the Outsiders, let's go into some Outsiders questions since it is also RumbleCon.
it's RumbleCon.
So I thought we could kind of discuss what like made us fall in love with the show.
Okay, so for me, I read the book in the seventh grade, like most of us did, and like, it was just boys being vulnerable. And like when you're a girl and you're reading that in a book, you're like,
Yeah.
like he feels like an outsider. He's talking about his feelings. This is crazy. So like I had my seventh grade like hyper fixation on that book. So when it came to Broadway, I was very excited that it was going to come to Broadway. And I saw it, I want to say like May 2024, like end of May. So it was out of previews, but it was before the Tonys. Um but I loved the sound of it. I was a big fan of Danya Tamor because she directed this great play, Heroes of the Fourth Turning, that I'd seen right before the pandemic or right after the pandemic. I'm not sure which one. But so I was a fan of her already. And I am I just fell in love with the music. I fell in love with like the performances because when I went there, I think I went there and there were no understudies on the first round I went. So I got to see like
Mhm.
full cast. And then I was like, I gotta kind of keep coming. The seventh grade hyperfixation hit me and it hit me hard. And it was just like I'm now having this hyperfixation like as an adult and just like seeing these familiar characters but like presented in a new way and just the artistry and everything about the show. I just immediately fell in love with it. So and that's what I keep coming back to.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
What scene or moment in the show is your favorite?
Mm. It changes depending on whether I want to be sad or want to be happy. Because like I always like Stay Gold is always just such a like emotional like that's one that I always like return to as like my like that is one of my favorite things. But I really like if I'm gonna like talk about like what I feel now, Grease Got a Hold is so like everyone's like, oh, it's fun, it's a bop, but it's such does such a good job of establishing the relationships
Mhm.
and the character interactions of everyone very quickly. Like you quickly get down like, okay, like this is Soda, this is Daryl, this is the way Dally acts. This is like it was just you were able to get it's such a great like establishing shot of all the characters while being such a great bop. So that's probably like right now, I will say that is my favorite part of the show.
That's great. I think we both switch every time we go, like what parts we love the most. But I think for like me, I always go back to the poem and it always gets me every time.
Mhm.
And then like nothing gold can stay. And then I go home and I'm like, all right, what can I do in my life to make sure that I'm appreciating every little aspect and the people around me and making sure I'm present for those people?
Yeah, I feel like for me, a moment that always gets me is Great Expectations because it's
Mhm.
such an intimate moment in such a large production. And I feel like at that moment in particular, I think all of us can find something in Ponyboy that we relate to, like wanting and wishing for something bigger or grander, what else is out there in the world, but also wanting to always be there for your family and friends and like in some ways not able to put yourself first, but you have all these expectations of what you want in your life. You just don't know how to go about it. So I feel like that for some reason that song in particular always gets me really emotional.
Oh, definitely. No. And especially when they when he Pony Boys and goes into the great expectation and just like hits that high note, it always. I mean, we when we saw Brody the first time, we were both like, "There's no way he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it," and he just went up there, and we just were not okay because you just felt that
Yeah.
emotion from him. Like how he's. I just love it.
Incredible, incredible. We definitely miss his Pony Boy. Wish I
Oh,
could see
for
that again.
sure.
I guess like segueing since we talked about Brody a little bit, but what cast is your favorite so far of the Outsiders that you've seen? Like what combination do you like of the Curtis brothers or do you have any preferences?
I enjoy Brody Ponyboy just because he's the goat and he brings the emotion and like I find him believable as a kid just because of the
Yes.
way like he expresses like excitement and exasperation and just like that little brother energy. I love Victor Soda Pop. For some reason he's just so funny and like he's so funny in that role, but he's also like very like affectionate, I've noticed, and like was more like apt to like when Daryl gets mad push him back like during the
Mhm.
fight, which I was just like, oh, that's a nice like little layer that I like added. And I mean, Brent Daryl, like that's a good Curtis Bro combination. So I mean, I honestly, anytime Victor's on stage, like that, like he's one of my favorite understudies. And I also miss Aramy Dallas. Aramy was such a great Dallas. And he was at BroadwayCon.
Yeah.
So I recently got to say hi to him again. But I do miss his Dallas because I was there the night they had to do Little Brother a cappella, and that was
Wow.
like just overwhelming, like the fact that he was able to bring the emotion and and I was like there's like no sound and they're still bringing it, like, so
Crazy, crazy moment.
yeah.
I think I think for both Skylar and I, one of our favorite combinations, or I guess understudy combinations, is Josh's Johnny.
We love it. It's
Yeah.
Johnny.
That is our he like in our minds, he is our Johnny. The level of innocence and naivety he brings to the role just like adds a whole nother level of like feeling sorry for the character and like wanting the best for this character. And it just like I think the first time we both saw it, it just like we just broke down even more than ever before when watching the show.
Yeah. Even like the little things he did on stage, like curling up into a ball or like playing with the gravel on the floor.
His
Um,
background acting is insane.
Great.
Like
Insane.
during the fight, like when like Ponyboy and the brothers are all fighting, when he's in the background, you can like
Yep.
look at him and he's like actively like anxious and like panicky and like just
Yep.
because he's seen that before, and it's just, oh, Josh is just so good as Johnny.
So
Do you
talented.
think they're gonna consider him to replace Sky full time, or you think they're gonna bring in someone different?
I have no idea, just because like now it's just everyone seemed like, not everyone, but like, I mean, how many more people are gonna like announce for March 15th? And like, am I gonna be able to see that show because the prices just keep going up? But
Yeah.
yeah, no, like I don't know. I'd love to see some just fresh faces in there. That's like not a knock to this cast at all, just because I love this cast. But I'd love to see some new combos of people.
Yeah. some new interpretations also of the characters.
Yeah,
Lines.
especially because I haven't seen the tour because I live in New York, so it's just like I have this, and I'm like I might try and see it when it's in Philly, so then I'll maybe have some more thoughts about like interpretations and that sort of thing. But yeah, no, I would love to see just some. I don't know who's going to be replacing who, but it'll be interesting. I'm almost tempted to buy just the ticket like for the day after like the 15th just to see what the dynamics are then
That's
and how
actually a
that
good
interacts.
idea to buy it like a day or two afterwards.
Yeah.
We love the like little like non-script interactions that they have on
Oh
stage.
yeah.
That's why we love sitting so close so that we can hear them, especially like during Grease Got a Hold or any like scene where everyone's just kind of interacting with each other. I feel like that really makes the show so believable. It's like, oh, I'm actually watching people who are friends on stage.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love the game that they play with the keys. Like every time they get so excited whether or not the keys are caught, like it's just like it's a game to them. Like that's just totally like not us involved at all. But yeah, no, I love sitting very close up for that show. Like I want the gravel, I want the spit, I want the blood, like bring it
Yeah,
on. Like that,
right.
but that's just me with like any type of show. Like I'm nearsighted, so I like seeing the emotions on actors' faces.
Yeah.
So I want to be like up close, but like even if it's a show where there's a chance to be a part of a set or on stage, I'm like get me in there, like get me on stage, like
Mhm.
so
Definitely.
having like so the fact that they especially like the eye contact and the interactions that they have with like the audience is just very good, very good. A
Yeah,
plus in my book.
we're the same way. Like our favorite seats in that house would have to be either the front row. We tend to be on like the front row on the right side when we've gone, or we love the box because
Wow.
it's just like you're in your own little world. No one's bothering you. No, you can't hear if anyone's filming or making comments. It's just you and the show, and they do interact a lot and like look at the box, and it's just you feel like you're in it. And I feel like the more intimate of the experience with this show, the better. And I think the more you also can appreciate the beauty of the show.
Yeah, 100%. I've never seen it from the box. I gotta try that.
We love it.
Highly recommend. We usually sit when we do the box. We did it twice now. We sit on the right one.
Right side.
That's great.
Okay.
We love it.
Yeah.
So, what message from the show do you hope audiences take or learn when they leave the theater?
I think like the idea that just like everyone has problems, like when you especially when you get to like I could talk to you all night and you have like Cherry just discussing like her home life and even and like things you people you think that are like perfect or like have it all made. Like it's just like I hope people like bring home that idea that just like you need to be able to like realize that like your world isn't everything and that other people are always also going through so many different things at the same time and you have no idea unless you ask or unless you like get into it unless you open up. And I think that's one of the most important messages about it because especially just in this world where like everything is social media and people are just like I'm at this show, I'm at this show, and you're sitting there like jealous and FOMO and that sort of thing, and I'm just like I have no idea what's going on in their life that they need to be at doing that all the time. So like just like extending understanding and like walking in other people's shoes and realizing that not every life is that great. So
And you'll
yeah.
never know unless you open yourself up to talking to different people or
100%.
being more open. And I think that's something that as a society we all have to continue to learn and be more open. Like instead of let's judge this person, oh, hi, my name is Skylar and I do this and this and this. What do you do? What do you like to do? And I think as a society we're really lacking that. So hopefully
100%.
Don't make
hopefully we'll learn
assumptions
that.
about people.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Would you define like The Outsiders as a perfect musical?
That's a strong question. Perfect musical. It depends on the night. I will say like just because some like sometimes like in any show like things can go wrong, or like sometimes you can feel that like and even sometimes it's like an audience interact, like the audience is lagging, so like the energy that's being exchanged between the actors and the audience isn't like 100% there, but it's pretty darn close to a perfect musical for me, just because it includes so much of my favorite things, just the music, the choreography, like I mean, they could have kept Randy. That would have been great. I mean,
Agreed.
if Randy was in there,
That's
that would
cool.
be like,
Agreed.
And
that
his
would elevate
solo
it.
in
Oh,
was
yes,
more.
yes.
I definitely go back to TikTok. I'm like, please still be there. Please still be there. I need to listen to this little snippet. I guess in our last 5 minutes, we're gonna look towards the audience and kind of answer some questions. So Amber asks, what is a musical you feel is underrated and deserves more recognition? That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Tarzan. I said it earlier.
You said it earlier.
Everybody go look up Tarzan on Broadway. Obviously, I don't know if there's any slime tutorials. If I find one, I'll let you guys know. But go listen to the cast album, because the music arrangements are some of the most beautiful you would listen to. And if you've never heard the song For the First Time from the show, which is a duet between Tarzan and Jane, and I think it's one of the most beautiful love songs. But that's my pick.
You know what's coming to my brain? The first one. I guess I'll just go with it. I loved If Then. That's a hot take. I loved it. I thought it was interesting. The duality between, if you take this path, this will happen. If you take this path, this will happen. And like, you're always starting over. I loved it. I encourage everyone to listen to the album. It does have Idina Menzel, and she's great in it, but there's also other people who are iconic. So I don't know. That was the first one that came to my mind. I know that's a hot take, though. Not many people like it.
It's a good one.
I liked it.
This is such a good question. I wish I had a better prepared answer. I'm gonna cop out and say there's a lot of off-Broadway shows that people are just not clocking in on, and like I just saw Picnic at Hanging Rock. I saw that twice. It's my favorite, one of my favorite books, one of my favorite movies, and I encourage everyone to just give weird off-Broadway shows more of a chance, so that they can record cast albums, they can do further development, that sort of thing. And I don't want to say like eat your vegetables, but eat your vegetables. Like do the work. Go look into some off-Broadway stuff. Like, yeah, so that would be my answer. It's a cop-out, but
That's a good one. I would also say I liked Dead Outlaw too.
oh,
I
I
actually
loved Dead
really
Outlaw.
enjoyed that. I was so captured that I actually really liked it.
Yeah, that was, I think, one of the first shows that Skylar and I really disagreed on when we went to go see it. Usually we have the same taste.
Yeah.
But for some reason I just couldn't get into it. I feel like I'm more into those shows with like the big pizzazz, and she really likes more of like the intimate.
Next to Normal is one of my favorites. Like, I don't know.
So another question we got also from Amber is, what do we think is one of the most emotionally devastating musicals?
Emotionally devastating.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, let's put Ragtime on the list after this week.
For this week, I would also say Next to Normal is up there. I had a hard time watching The Pro Shot with Cassie Levy. I always say their last name wrong. I'm notorious to saying names wrong, just FYI.
No, you're fine. I always am like butchering names.
I had a hard time. I had to watch it in segments because I was sobbing and like was like really internalizing those feelings. So I had to really break it down into segments.
One of mine is just, I think I watched the movie musical before I ever watched like production of it, but Rent.
Yeah.
There's a certain the funeral scene. I'm just gonna say I can't get through it. Like I can't get through it without openly sobbing. So
Or
that's my
Goodbye
mom.
Love too.
Oh gosh,
I
yes.
can't. I like. There's some things like I'll watch it once, but then if I watch it again, like I can't do it to myself. Like I'm so sorry, I have to skip it because it's making me hurt.
Yeah.
We got one more question from Pluto, who's asking, what is the best place to stand for the Outsiders stage door?
Nowhere? I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry. But no, I feel like everyone tends to like come out and like crowd at the front. My
Yeah.
immediate thought is if I'm going to stage door the night that I'm going, instead of like coming back like the next night, I always just go towards like the end where it's like thinning out. I mean, it's when they're more tired, but it's less chaos and less people screaming directly in your ear as someone comes out.
We
So,
like to go by Buena Vista if we're going to, like all the way down
yeah,
there.
yeah.
But one thing we will say, like, if an actor doesn't come out, let's not go like towards the alleyway.
No, Forbidden Tunnel. Let's
please
keep
don't
it
do
that
that.
way.
Don't
Stop
go
doing
in
that.
the alleyway. We don't follow
Stop.
actors home.
Yeah,
This goes
just a
back to the
PSA.
stage door etiquette conversation.
Which you can listen to our episode. We just did another one on it. So if you want to know our opinions, you can go there too.
We felt like another episode was needed after the whole Uncle Daddy Mamma Mia thing. So if you want to hear our hot takes on that, go listen to the episode. But I guess that's it. We're sort of running out of time here. But thank you again to Tara and Matt and the entire RumbleCon team for inviting us to run this session. We are so thankful to be a part of this community, and we're thankful for everyone who tunes in today. Please make sure to follow us at Love Letters to B-Way on TikTok and on Instagram at Love Letters to B-Way with 2 Ys. Why? Because 1 Y wasn't available, and I say that during every single podcast episode because it still pisses me off. And we can also be reached via email if you have any additional questions for us at loveletterstobroadway@gmail.com. You can also feel free to DM us on any social media platform. You can find our podcast available for free on all streaming services, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and more. We release a new episode every Sunday at noon. We post daily videos on both Instagram and TikTok. I guess a little sneak peek is this Sunday's episode is going to be all about BroadwayCon. And the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you're interested in that, make sure to tune in.
Yeah, and I just want to say, like, once again, thank you, Nicole, for joining us. This was such a fun conversation.
Thank you for having me. This was great.
Really. It was so much fun. We love Broadway. We love yapping about this. We're so glad that we got this opportunity to chat with you. You can find her on Instagram and TikTok at Broadway Side Gig. So definitely follow her if you aren't, because we love her content. And again, thank you so much for having us. We had so much fun at RumbleCon, and we hope that you have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you. Enjoy RumbleCon.
Enjoy. Bye.